Good afternoon and welcome to Kinsman Field in North Vancouver. It's League 1 BC Women's Division Game of the Week action. And do we have a tasty clash in store for you this afternoon? It's the Ironworkers Derby between first placed league leading Altitude taking on the visitors from just over the Ironworkers Bridge in TSS Rovers. I'm your match commentator Michael McCall, and I'll have the call for you this afternoon for the women's match, and then coming up right after this one will be the men's game kicking off at 3:30. Apologies for the late start. They had to do a little bit of relining on the pitch, and I'm pretty sure as you watch the stream you're going to look out and feel there could maybe be a little bit more of the line markings on the pitch. I know it's a little bit difficult to see the penalty areas as long as the players and the officials can. That is going to be the main thing. But we'll get into the starting lineups for both these sides. TSS, who played midweek and came away with a draw against second place Unity, a result which really helped Altitude in their quest for a first ever League 1 BC title. They make 4 changes from that side for head coach Kevin Booker. In goals, number 29, Asha Parmer. Number 2, Caitlin Chu. Number 7, Claire Yee. Number 8, Sophia Farimo. Number 11, Sophia Kramer. Number 14, Elise Baudry. Number 15 is Erin Van Dolder. Number 17 is Sophie Campbell. Number 20 is Delana Friesen. Number 23 is Sasha Merck. And number 24 is Megan Sue. Parmer, Baudry, Merck and Sue are those 4 changes for Kevin Booker. For head coach Jesse Simons, he makes 6 changes to the team that came away with a big victory in the top of the table clash against Unity last Sunday here at Kinsman. In goal, number 1, Kelsey Fisher. Number 5, Zoel Apps. Number 9, Bailey Dirksen. Number 11, Hannah Baines. Number 14, Tia Dennehy. Number 15, Avery Tulloch. Number 16, Sheila Rasul. Number 19, Olivia Gomez. Number 24, Claire Logan. Number 33, Emma Yee. And number 38, Aurora Hughes Goyette. The 6 changes are Fisher, Apps, Baines, Tulloch, Rasul and Gomez. And for Altitude, 3 games in a 7-day period coming up. They play midweek against Evolution here at Kinsman before travelling to take on TSS next Saturday afternoon at Swangard Stadium. That will also be next weekend's featured game of the week. The math is very clear for Altitude. 3 victories in those 3 games and they will lift their first ever League 1 BC title and book their place at August's Interprovincial Championships in Sherbrooke, Alberta. Man in the middle for this one is referee Todd Wiseman. First assistant referee is Marcus Petinato. Second assistant referee Batuan Ozer. And the 4th official is Muniel Peran. And it's TSS getting the action underway here at Kinsmen, wearing the all red jerseys with the white numbers and trim, going from left to right in this first half. Altitude in the sky blue jerseys that go down to the mountain skyline on the jerseys, and the blue shorts, they're going from right to left. My long-winded explanation there as Rasul chips that forward right to the path of Emma Yee, who had a fantastic outing last Sunday against Unity. Emma Yee, 3 goals and 3 assists on the year for this Altitude side. Altitude come into this game with a record from their 11 games of 10 wins. Just the 1 solitary defeat, and that was a midweek loss to Unity 10 days ago. 36 goals for, make them the 2nd highest scorers in the league behind Vancouver Rise. 8 goals against though makes them the best, stingiest defence in League 1 BC, and they sit on 30 points just now. Vancouver Rise have 3 games left. The most they can get is 37 points. Unity have 5 games left. They can get to 38 points. So as mentioned, 3 wins for Unity, and they will be the 2025 League 1 BC champions. And they're on the attack early in this one. It's Avery Tulloch. A low one comes to Yee. She's going to play this one straight back to Tulloch. Lofted in from Tulloch, and TSS unable to clear the lines. It falls to Yee. Nice centre there, and a quick first time effort coming in there from Claire Logan. She hasn't found the back of the net this League 1 BC season so far for Altitude. Three players in the starting 11, outfield players in the starting 11 for Altitude: Dennehy, Tulloch and Logan, yet to get their first goals of this campaign, but there are goals throughout this team. For TSS Rovers, they are a team that has scored in every match that they've played so far this year. They're sitting fourth in the table. They have the fourth best attack and the fourth best defence, so fours all the way round for this Rovers side. Altitude, 16 different players have found the back of the net to TSS's 12. So expect goals in this one. And Sophia Farema, the number 8 for TSS Rovers, she is leading the goals for TSS. 5 goals and 1 assist on the year. Delana Friesen has 3. A long way to go to chase down Jada Thompson, 7. And Bailey Dirkson's 5 for Altitude. They will be the danger women to watch for both these sides in this one, as it's been a fast-paced first 3 minutes on a very warm afternoon here in North Vancouver. Temperatures in the low 20s, expected to climb to about 24-25 over the course of the afternoon. It's a toasty one. There's a good crowd out to enjoy the action though. Free admission for Altitude for this game. And their next game as well in July, taking on Langley on the 13th, is also free admission. So if you've wanted to get out to Kinsman to take in a game here, that would be an ideal day to do it. Always a beautiful venue to come out to. Spoken before, one of my favourite venues in League 1 BC, one of only 2 with grass pitches as well. And that can sometimes give Altitude a bit of an advantage with teams not used to playing on grass. That isn't the case, of course, for TSS, who are the team with the other grass pitch. But they're on the defence just now, as Altitude have really started this one in the ascendancy. Dirksen thought about trying to keep that in and playing a ball, but then lets it run out. It's going to bring up a second corner in the opening 5 minutes here for Altitude. And once again, it's Avery Tulloch over on corner kick duty. Co-leader on this Altitude team with 4 assists as she sends it in. Aurora Hughes-Goyette tries to get her head to it, just can't fully connect. And the Rovers will get this one up the field. It's well held up by Baudry. Immediately under pressure though from Olivia Gomez. Baudry keeps hold of the ball, and Yee try to knock that one off Merck to get Altitude the corner. Instead, it's going to be a throw-in for TSS just inside the Altitude half. Kramer. Heavy first touch there from Farimo. And then fouling to try and get back on the recovery onto Bailey Dirksen. Mentioned the number 11 for TSS there, Sophia Kramer, a UBC Thunderbird player, going up against many of her teammates on this Altitude side and her college coach in Jessie Simons. So I'm sure Jessie Simons has the good scouting report on Sophia Kramer. Kramer decided to play for TSS this year, and she was looking forward to playing this season with her good friend Jade Taylor-Ryan. But unfortunately, Taylor-Ryan, a UBC standout in the last couple of years, picked up an injury early on in the season from a hiking accident and has ruled her out for the rest of the campaign. Tulloch tries to bring that one down, but it's ushered back to Parmar, and the clearance right off the head of Tulloch there, and it sends Avery down in an absolute heap, because that hit her with some force from close range there from Asha Parmar. Obviously, absolutely no malice or intention in that. As Tulloch chasing that ball down, she takes the full brunt of that, and that brought lots of cries of anguish to the Altitude supporters and parents and family over to my left, and that is going to be a sore one for Avery Tulloch, and the Altitude team will make sure that she gets the full attention and do the full concussion protocols in this one. While Avery's getting some attention out there, just a little bit more information about these two sides. Altitude coming in to this game, 4 clean sheets registered from their 11 games played. They've been kept off the score sheet in just one game, which was that 1-0 midweek loss to Unity in the top of the table clash 10 days ago now. TSS, as mentioned, have scored in every single game, but they've only been able to keep 1 clean sheet on the season. The goalkeeper that did keep that clean sheet was the lady between the sticks for the Rovers this afternoon, Asha Palmer, the 18-year-old, making her 4th appearance of the year for TSS, who have rotated their goalkeepers out quite a lot. I think 4 different goalkeepers we've seen between the sticks so far for TSS this season. And good to see Avery Tulloch sitting up now, still getting checked over by the Altitude medical staff. Both teams taking this as an opportunity to have some mini huddles on the pitch. And it'll be interesting to see if Avery Tulloch is going to be able to continue. As mentioned, Jessie Simons, a lot of rotation going into this one, and with 3 games in a 7-day period, expect Jessie to use his full squad over the course of the next week. Avery Tulloch still getting checked out there, and Avery almost an Altitude original. Good to see that she's back up on her feet now. Her first year in League One was in 2022, the inaugural year where she did play with Rovers, but then making the move to Altitude the following year, and this now her 3rd season with the North Vancouver side, and looks like we're going to get a substitution. Avery's day is done, and I think that makes sense, and it's going to be Ella Sund that is going to be coming on for Avery Tulloch now. Big applause for Avery, and hopefully nothing too bad concussion wise for her. She did take that with some force, and an early substitution wouldn't have been in the plans for Jessie Simons, but brings on the experienced Ella Sunday now, 21-year-old from North Vancouver, 3 years in the college game with UBC. And back-to-back U Sports titles, as many of the players on this Altitude team. Ball goes back to Palmer. She's going to be a little bit shaken up, I'm sure, by that as well. As a player, you never want to feel that you have hurt an opponent intentionally or unintentionally, as the case was there. Six of the players on the pitch just now for Altitude are UBC Thunderbirds players. That is the core of the team this year, and it's the first meeting of these teams this season. They were meant to meet on May 7th, but TSS's involvement in the Canadian Championship saw the doubleheader at Swangard that day postponed and rearranged to next Saturday. So this was meant to be the second meeting between these two teams, has ended up being the first. And the head-to-head doesn't make good reading for Altitude. It's 5 wins for TSS in the Ironworkers derby on the female side, 1 draw as well. So Altitude's never been able to beat TSS, but this is a very different Altitude side this year. As mentioned, the core of the team made up of UBC Thunderbirds players. Jessie Simons coming in for his first year as head coach of the side, and Simons very well-respected coach in women's soccer and has strong ties to the North Shore. Been involved with North Shore girls for a number of years and had 1 year in charge of the Whitecaps women's team where they played games here on the North Shore as well. And Fisher gets, I think, possibly her first touch of the game so far as that ball goes back to her. Misplay there by Gomez. Lets TSS pick up the loose ball, but now Yee wins it back for Altitude. And just an apology, the number 18 that's come on isn't Ellison. They've changed the number up on me again. Let's have a look to see who the number 18 is. It's Sienna Gibson. Wearing a different jersey number today. She's normally the number 24, which Claire Logan is now wearing. Sienna Gibson back from a fantastic tournament in Costa Rica, and I'll get back to that thought just now as Altitude on the attack. Gomez outside to Yee. Yee trying to find a way through, but good recovery play coming in from Sasha Merck, unable to keep that in though, and that's going to be out for the third corner of the afternoon. And Avery Tulloch was the woman that was on set piece duties from the first two corners, now off the pitch. And this will now fall to Bailey Dirksen. High delivery, it's to the back of the box. Dennehy plays it back out to Dirksen. Goes to the outside as well to hold off the defender. Back to Yee. Yee cuts to her outside. Again, hits the byline, centres it in, and we've got the opening goal. And a great link-up play there. And tucked away beautifully in the end. And off and running. 15 minutes in. Sheila Rasul getting on the end of that one. And it's Altitude 1, TSS Rovers nil. Great work from Emma Yee to set that one up, and Rasul in the right place in the 6-yard box. Oh, it's Emma Yee, sorry, that got the goal there, mistaking my ponytails. In fact, it can't be Emma Yee because she was the person that was doing the running, so I think the announcement is wrong. Yeah, it is Sheila Rasul. So ignore the PA announcement. I was correct, and it was Sheila Rasul that got the goal. Should trust my eyes and not what is being said on the PA. That goal for Rasul, her second of the season, and a fourth assist on the year now for Emma Yee. This Altitude team, very hard to break down at the best of times, and they play with a lead so well. That's what TSS now have to try and find a way. And it's a good ball in for Elise Baudry, and she can't fully connect on that. The flag up on the near side anyway, but Baudry stretching there and just unable to get a clean connection on it. And almost an immediate response there from the Rovers. Bit of a breeze picks up here, which will be very welcomed by the players for sure, as it's a hot one out there, as you can see from where that Emma Yee's moves her sleeves up on her jersey, and great skill there again from Yee. Leaves Merck in her wake, cuts it inside to Rasul, back to Baines now. Baines under the attention there, goes down, and that's going to bring up a free kick in a dangerous position. Sophia Ferrimo giving away the free kick. About 25 yards out, and it's Baines and Dirksen standing over this one. Do either of them fancy going for goal here? It's Baines that strikes it. It's a great delivery as well in from Baines, and going across a goal to turn it away at full stretch there was Asha Palmer. Great free kick taken from Hannah Baines, and Palmer getting across so well to turn that away. It's going to bring up a fourth corner now for Altitude. High delivery in from Dirksen. It's bouncing about the box, comes out to Dennehy. Nice ball back outside to Dirksen. She shows some nifty footwork, cuts into the box, goes for the shot. Too many red jerseys in front. And the Rovers will get a chance to bring this one out now with Yee. But she just gets that one taken off her foot. Dirksen now delivers that in. That could have gone anywhere. It's a flashing clearance attempt there from Van Dolder. And Rasul almost getting onto the end of that one again. But the Rovers survive and they'll bring this one out. Baudry through the referee's legs, and that's almost threaded through there to Kramer. Well read though by Logan. Given away there by Altitude, and Yee putting Logan under pressure, unable to keep that one in though, and it's going to be out for a goal kick for the home side. Expected this game to be fast-paced, end-to-end stuff. That's what we've had through the opening 18 minutes or so. Fisher's goal kick headed on there, and another chance here for Altitude to get something going, and once again it's Yee on the left. This time she can't cut inside, but she does well to recover, and a flying elbow there as well. I mean, genuinely thought there was going to be at least a card shown there. It's just what colour it was going to be, because it was definitely an elbow into the face of Merck as Yee recovered there, and maybe just getting a warning instead from the referee. Sue does well, spin away, get that forward to Kramer. Yee now turns inside, but not on the same page. Kramer had made the run forward there, and Yee unable to get that one threaded through to her, and now Altitude instead will try and get something going up the right hand side. Kramer immediately put under pressure there and having to play the ball back to Parmar. The pressing game here from Altitude is very strong, and it's forcing some errors from the Rovers, who are playing dangerously, playing this one out the back, but they have survived and they get a chance to break here. Baudry will try and chase this one down. Gets onto it, nice knock ahead, but Logan, the Canadian under-20 international, good recovery play from her to get an important foot onto that, but she'll knock it out and bring up TSS's first corner of the afternoon. Rovers corner in from the right. It's flicked in at the near post, and now just a big boot on that to clear that anywhere up the field from Hannah Baines. Merck picks up the loose ball, and that's very well played again from Claire Logan. She's having an excellent defensive display out there. TSS though keep this one alive. Forced backward. And Chu now looking to try and get something going up the left. No options there for her. Instead to go through the middle. Nice spin away from Baudry. And she chips that forward. Too much on it though for Kramer to try and get on the end of it. And that will just run behind for another altitude goal kick. Good response though from TSS after going down to that goal. 15 minutes in from Sheila Rasul. One back by the Rovers. Friesen needed to possibly play that in a little bit quicker than she did. And Kramer just stops that attack going from Dirksen, our UBC teammate, in a couple of weeks' time once the college action gets back underway. Baines, an important foot in there, and gets this one out to Gomez. She's powering forward. Yee in acres of room, but it's not a great ball from Gomez. Way too close to Merck, and she cuts that one out. Sue dangerously plays that back to Van Dolder, almost picked off by Gibson there. Gibson still battling away. Dirksen showing her aggression superbly there, and mentioned a few times on the commentary by Bailey Dirksen that she was told by her teachers that she should definitely play sport because of how competitive she was. Told that she was basically too competitive not to go into sports, and has been thriving in the soccer scene since. Has played the game since she was 6 years old. Yee now gets room, goes for the shot herself, and that's straight down the middle, easily dealt with by Parmar. Asha Parmar, the 18-year-old from Surrey. Player that's come through the TSS Rovers system. She was on their 06 girls team, plays in the MWSL for Rovers B team as well, and was a rookie last year at McGill Griffins. 2 games played, 1 start, 1 second half, and she kept a clean sheet, just allowing 2 goals in those 2 games that she played as well. And some good experience that she's got in League One this year as well. This now her 4th game of the 2025 campaign. And you feel she's going to have a busy afternoon from this very potent altitude attack. Rasul putting on the pressure there. Winning a throw in for a side, but Shoes Goyette will be able to take. She is an altitude original, been with altitude since their first year in the league in 2022. Yee come more in to the middle there as Dennehy scoops that one away. Logan plays that out to Gomez. Not the best delivery from the young fullback, and TSS get it clear now. Baudry, she's been very involved in the attacks that TSS have got going, but Sienna Gibson back doing a fantastic shift to break that one up. And we'll get into a little bit about Sienna Gibson as the broadcast goes on, if the action does dip at any point, allow me to do that. As it's one back with TSS, and that's a through ball for Yee, and we know that she's got the pace, but between them, Apps and Logan overdoing a good defensive job as now Gomez skips away, and she is sent crashing to the deck by Sue, and that's going to bring out the first yellow card of the game. 27 minutes in, and it goes the way of TSS Rovers' Megan Sue. Olivia Gomez, maybe small, but very tenacious player, and enjoyed watching her play for UBC in her rookie season last year. 18 games played, 3 assists from that rookie campaign as well. The 5'4" left back from Richmond. Yee. Still battling away, Emma Yee. Touch inside now to Dennehy. Dirksen forced back into her own half here, but now Altitude will get this one out. Dirksen bringing it forward. Inside to Gibson. She tries to spin away, does get away. Great play there from Gibson. She threads that through, looking to try and get that one through to Hannah Baines. But the Rovers defence deal with the danger, get it up the field, and earn themselves a throw-in in the process. Touches that inside to Kramer. Yee and Kramer joint assist leaders on this TSS side, 3 assists each over the season so far. Nice little give and go play there between Chu and Kramer, and Chu plays that forward. It's just over the head of Yee. Clean so, picked up by TSS. And for Remo, that's a nice ball forward, trying to play in. Claire Yee just a little bit too much on that, and that'll run through to Kelsey Fisher. She's not had a lot to do through the first half hour here. Gibson showing nice fleet of foot. Her first game back in League One after being away with the victorious Canadian under-20 side at the recent CONCACAF Championships, booking their place at the next FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup as well. Winning gold against Mexico, and Gibson got in the score sheet that day. As powering forward here comes to Hannah Baines, who goes for the far corner. It was good work by Hughes Goyette, who was just powering forward, not able to get the ball off her. Touch inside to Baines, and her shot dealt with once again by Parmar. Rovers continuing to play it out the back, and Altitude continuing to press hard and put that pressure on. Yee. Nice little touch outside to Gibson, who'd made the run. You know, gets it back inside to Baines, who turns away in the box, and red jerseys just in the way there, but it's won back again by Gibson. The press and play Altitude is definitely forcing mistakes, forcing turnovers from the Rovers, and they're keeping the pressure on here as we move past the half-hour mark at Kinsman Field. Sheila Rasul's 15th minute goal. The difference between these two sides just now, Altitude have had the bulk of the play, bulk of the possession as well. But TSS's defence has held pretty firm. It's a bit of a scramble in the 6-yard box that led to that opening goal. As Gomez sends a long throw in, it's flicked on well by Rasul, cleared by TSS. Baudry forced wide there by Yee and gets it back. And the Rovers can finally get it out their final third. Yee, though, can't keep hold of it for long, and the loose ball is going to get picked up by Hughes Goyette. Yee doing enough, though, to get a foot in there to knock it off Hughes Goyette. Aurora Hughes-Goyette, one of two Hughes-Goyette sisters that have played for Altitude over the years. 22-year-old from Garibaldi Highlands. 4 seasons under her belt in new sports out in New Brunswick with the Reds. Gomez looking for the return pass there from Gibson, but that was well read by Sasha Merck. And that ball forward looking for Yi, but once again, Hughes-Goyette there, cutting it out for Altitude. Cheeky little backheel attempt there from Baines, not quite coming off, but unable to be kept in the end by Farimo, and that's going to just bring up an Altitude throw in anyway, about the midway point of their half, over in the shade, which I'm sure Hughes-Goyette will be welcoming. Rasul unable to keep hold of that, chases it back though, and Altitude pick up the loose ball with Dennehy, and now a chance for Gomez to bring this forward again. Out to Yi on the left. Cuts inside, gets the better of Merck this time, still Yi. Little shimmy to the outside this time though. Over, cutting it out is Sophie Campbell. But Yi still battling away, trying to win the ball back. Rovers clearance only as far as Gomez, but now they will get a little bit of time to bring the ball out their half. Friesen plays that forward, and Kramer tried first time that through to play in Yi, but Zoe Laps doing a great job to cut that one out. Altitude get the ball back now. They'll bring it out the back, and they'll switch it over now to Hughes-Goyette on the right. First timer up the wing to Dirksen. She's got Rasul ahead of her, options inside as well. Dirksen decides to cut inside herself. The touch inside to Baines. The overlapping pass there to Yi was on. I'm not sure if Baines maybe didn't quite see that, but Altitude keep it alive. Hughes-Goyette now chips in a nice ball, and it's headed clear by Van Dolder. Comes back now to Hughes-Goyette. Dirksen in the box, battling away with Farimo. And that decision is going to go the way of TSS. And we're going to get thought we were getting a water break for a second there, but we are not. The action is continuing as the Rovers give that one away, and it's like they haven't been able to keep hold of the ball as long as they would like against this dangerous Altitude side, and giving it away needlessly. Unforced errors there, costing them a little bit, but they get the ball back here and they'll slow things down as Chu over to take this one. Into the final 10 minutes of the first half here at Kinsman Field. And it's the league leaders with a 1-0 advantage so far. As the wind picks up again. Very nice to have on a hot day like this. Farimo plays that one out wide, and it's up the wing to Friesen from Chu, but it's given away and won back right away by Altitude. Dirksen back very deep, playing for that, covering for Hughes-Goyette, who had gone up the field from that earlier attack. Remember, you can keep up with all the action, all the scores, the standings, the fixtures and more by downloading the League One Canada app, available in the Android and Apple stores. Free to download, free to use, and you can keep up to date with all the actioned stats and more in League 1 BC, League 1 Alberta and League 1 Ontario. And don't forget to check out L1BC.ca, your one-stop shop for all your League 1 BC information. It's been another entertaining match, as you expect from these two teams. TSS sitting fourth in the table, and they've had an up and down season, but they have played some attractive football along the way, and as I mentioned, they have scored in every game that they've played so far this season. So I expect there to be some more goals to come in this. This is possibly their biggest test, going up against the best defence in League 1 in 2025, but they're on the attack here as tried to get that one played in, kept alive by TSS, and Baudry still battling away for it. It's won back by Kramer. She can't keep that one in. It just runs behind, and it all comes to nothing in the end for TSS Rovers. Kelsey Fisher, 3 clean sheets on the year in goal for Altitude, and this is her 6th appearance as she looks for clean sheet number 4. Hasn't had a lot to do in the first half, but she might get tested in the closing minutes of the half here, as TSS seem to have found another gear and have been in the ascendancy in the last couple of minutes. Giveaway by Gomez for Remo. Comes back from Yee to Kramer. She's in, but the flag up on the near side here. That was a tight decision, but Fisher more than a match for it anyway. Out quickly to smother the danger from Sophia Kramer. Dennehy almost played into trouble there as Altitude try and play it out the back, and I think that could be the way for TSS to get a bit of success here and try and follow Altitude's example of this high pressing game, because Altitude's press has certainly put the Rovers under pressure at the back, as they also like to play out from the back. Kramer looking for options, forced to go back in the end. Merck plays that forward to Baudry and was looking for the return pass, but well dealt with by Gomez. Altitude now get a chance to get something going. Cut out well though by the Rovers, and Farimo just didn't quite get that forward to Friesen, as Baines does well to break it up, and she's back on the ball here just now. Under pressure from Farimo, forced to go all the way back now to Apps. Farimo, another misplaced pass there, not finding the intended target. Apart from that breach in the 15th minute, they might have been under pressure, but the Rovers defence have done well to hold this dangerous Altitude side just to the 1 goal so far. Hughes Goyette. Touch outside to Dirksen, and she'll cut inside. Dirksen playing a deeper role today than we usually see her for Altitude and for UBC. Dennehy just holds this one up. She's forced backward under pressure from Baudry. Gets the ball back now. Hughes Goyette chips that one into the box, looking for the goal scorer Rasul, but that's easily read and dealt with by Asha Parmar. And another attack comes to nothing for the home side. falls favourably to Baudry, but her pass back there to Sue had a little bit too much on it, quickly closed down by Yi. And that clearance from Merck just hits off Yi, who's battling away out there. Such a good battling player. Belies her size with what she puts into that. As Yi now turns away for TSS. Kramer making room, looking for the option. It's touched back to Sue. She chips that one in, looking for Friesen. She's got room in the box, and the shot is goal bound, but it's blocked on the line by Claire Logan. And that's the best chance for TSS, and the altitude defence were cut open there, but Logan with a big block on the goal line, and altitude maintain their lead. Now the North Shore side going the other way. Dirksen. And just not really a shot nor a cross there from Dirksen. She was trying to play that one into Gibson, but just got way too much on that. That chance that was carved out there in front of goal for TSS will give them a little bit of hope for the second half to come. TSS have certainly been the better team offensively probably for the last 10 minutes of this half. Some misplaced passes is what's cost them, and a misplay there from Logan. Lets Yi in. She makes room to the outside, goes for the shot. Can't really get the power on that though to trouble Fisher, and that's a pedestrian save for the altitude keeper in the end. Kelsey Fisher, last year's goalkeeper of the year in League One, playing for Rovers, who didn't have the best season as a team, their best season so far in League One, but Kelsey Fisher certainly one of the standouts for Rovers last year. Coming back to altitude this year, where she spent her first 2 years in League 1 BC. An injury though in 2022 kind of derailed both her club and college seasons for a little bit of time, but she's back and looking very good between the sticks again. Emma Yi, the number 33 for altitude, and her 4th year in League One as well. First 3 we've seen her win League 1 BC championships with Whitecaps Girls Elite, off to college where she's just had her rookie season at the University of Illinois, and then back playing League One this summer. Coming to altitude for the first time, playing under Jessie Simons as well. The first half just coming to a close here. We'll keep an eye on the 4th official. There'll be a bit of time added on for that injury to Avery Tulloch a couple of minutes into the game. And it's just a minimum of 3 to get added on here. Felt it might have been a bit more than that, but I think both teams in this heat will just want to really get in to the half. And if you are joining us or joined us late, this game kicked off a little bit late as they had to do some line remarking out on the pitch. Hope you have enjoyed the action. I know there's a feast of football at Club World Cup and Gold Cup for you to take in this afternoon. So if you've been watching this one live, thank you for spending your Sunday watching League 1 BC with us. If you're watching on delay, thank you for taking the time to watch on delay. Those of you listening live, if you do want to get in touch during the broadcast, you can do so on X at AFTN Canada. That's AFTN Canada. Let us know where you're taking the action from, who you're cheering on this afternoon, and your thoughts on the League 1 BC season so far. Remo lining up the shot, and she's had a couple of long rangers in amongst her 5 goals this year. For a player that's been kind of playing a defensive midfielder, central midfielder role, Remo's really found a goal scoring form that we haven't seen from her before, either in League 1 or at college level. Remo had 1 goal in 2023 for TSS, 1 last year for TSS, and she was an ever-present for the Rovers in both of those seasons. Yet to find her first goal for SFU. She did get one with UFV back in 2023, and be interesting to speak to Sophia as to where she feels that her goal scoring explosion has come this League 1BC season, especially from the position that she is playing, which is more of a deep lying playmaker role. She's on the ball again just now. Touch outside to Merck. Comes back to Farima, resplendent in those white boots. She was making the run forward, looking for the return pass from Sue, who decided to go out to the wing instead. Kramer cuts inside, plays that, looking for Yee. Altitude anywhere will do just now as Campbell goes for the long range effort. What a goal from Sophie Campbell! 35 yards, if not more, out, and it nestles beautifully into the top left corner. And from nowhere, the Rovers are back on level terms here at Kinsman Field. It's Altitude 1, TSS Rovers 1. That goal coming 3 minutes into first half stoppage time. It's going to be pretty much the last action of the game as well. And the clearance was picked up well by Campbell, and a rocket off a shot from Sophie Campbell. And that is the last action of the half. Sophie Campbell's first goal of the season, and what a way to get it. What a way to end the half. And that sets up what should be a very entertaining second 45 minutes. So go, stick the kettle on, grab your biscuit of choice, and join us in 15 minutes for the second half of this one at Kinsman Field. Welcome back to Kinsman Field in North Vancouver for the second half of our League 1 BC Women's Division Game of the Week. And it's all tied up at 1 apiece between the league leaders Altitude and 4th place TSS Rovers. It's the Ironworkers Derby, and this is a game that has lived up to a derby game. There's been some really good end-to-end action from both sides. Sheila Rasool opened the scoring for Altitude in the 15th minute, and then a long-range screamer from Sophie Campbell in first half stoppage time. It got TSS heading into the break on level terms, and it's Altitude that will get the action underway in this second half, going from left to right in the sky blue to dark blue jersey and short outfit. TSS in the all red with the white numbers and trim, going from right to left, and there's a couple of substitutions for Altitude at half time as well. We'll get to that in a sec. One of them on the ball just now, the number 21, Cassidy Anderson. She came on for the goal scorer, Sheila Rasool. Also making way, number 11, Hannah Baines for Altitude, and coming on, number 22, Kiara Kelby. Dirksen gets the ball out wide, hits the byline, and that was a heavy challenge coming in, and you heard the scream from Bailey Dirksen there as well, and she is in a lot of pain down there. And that does not look good for Bailey Dirksen, unfortunately, and immediately trainers on the pitch. Altitude already had an injury in the early stages of the first half, with Avery Tulloch forced to make way, and that was just a coming together as they battled for the ball on the byline there, and you heard the screams from Bailey Dirksen right away, and can only hope that it's not as bad as those suggested. Referee giving the indication to the Altitude bench that they are going to need to make a substitution here. That is the least of the concerns for Altitude and for UBC watching this just now, is Bailey getting helped to her feet and not really able to put any weight on that left leg by the looks of it as well. She is going to get helped off the pitch here by her teammates, and her sub-teammates coming over as well just to help Bailey out, and obviously we hope it's nothing too bad that's going to keep Bailey out for too long. Such a key player for Altitude and for UBC Thunderbirds. And substitution being made there, Vanessa Tomei, the number 7, coming on for Altitude in place of Bailey Dirksen there. And we'll try and get an update at the end of this game as to what happened with Bailey, and we'll bring you that in the second game that we will bring you this afternoon. But that's 2 injuries for Altitude in this one, both at the start of each half. It's just a heavy coming together there and a heavy challenge. There was no malice in it. It wasn't a free kick. And we won't speculate as to what that was, but as she's getting helped off the pitch in the background there, just still not able to get any weight put on that leg. I should have to put all thoughts of that injury to their teammate out here as the ball played forward to Kelby. Takes a nice touch, can't quite get onto the loose ball. It comes back for Cassidy Anderson, who drives that one high and over the bar. Kiara Kilby came on at the half. One of the more experienced veterans, you could say, on this altitude side. The 28-year-old from Victoria, an alumni of UVic Vikes. Played 2015 to 2020 with the Vikes, and good experience overseas as well. She's played in Iceland, she's played in Ireland, and won the Golden Boot in the Lower Island Women's Championship with Gorge this past winter season. 24 goals in the regular season and 1 in the playoffs as well. So she is certainly going to be a handful for this TSS Rovers defence. Kramer holding off Cassidy Anderson there as the ball chipped forward, looking for Yi to try and run onto. That's going to be dealt with by Gomez, but Yi keeps on Gomez, then almost nicks it back off her, but Altitude get it away. And a tackle there from Furimo on Gibson. Some heavy challenges coming in the last couple of minutes. I was just looking for the free kick there. Referee feeling that was a fair challenge as TSS bring it out. Friesen plays that forward, looking for Baudry. Baudry will now pick up the loose ball, but Dennehy quickly on to close that down. Friesen, though, wins it back for TSS. For Remo now. Goes to the outside, goes for a long range effort, and what a strike and what a turn away from Kelsey Fisher as well. We've seen Furimo score a couple of long-range efforts this season, including in the last game against Unity midweek as well, and almost another one to add to our highlight reel roll there. But instead, a fantastic highlight reel save from Kelsey Fisher to turn that one away, and it's going to be a corner coming up here for TSS. Kramer, and the attention of Gomez gets it out to Baudry. Baudry sends it into the near post, and Fisher needed maybe 2 attempts to grab that off the foot of Yi, but she gets there in the end. And this has been a good start to the second half for TSS. They finished the first half strong and they've kept it going to start the second. And it's end-to-end stuff just now as Kilby spins away there, gets outside to Tomei. But she gets that taken off her foot from Caitlin Chu. Her clearance, so won back by Anderson. Hughes Goyette now sends it all over to Yi on the edge of the box. Yi tries to spin away. Still has the ball under the attention there of Merck. Now Sue is back to mop it up for TSS. Her clearance, though, not too far, only as far as Gomez. And Gibson just runs out of real estate in the end and just carries that one over the byline. It's going to be out for a goal kick to TSS. It's been a very eventful first 8 minutes of the second half. Remind if you weren't with us from the start, 3 games in 7 days for Altitude, 3 wins for the North Vancouver side, and they will lift their first ever League 1BC championship. That ball forward there, looking to try and play in Friesen, but it's coming back out. And Hughes Goyette just can't keep that one in. You see the anguish on her face. Tomei plays that one forward to Kilby. Gomez chipping that forward, looking to try and get it to Kilby. It falls for her. Touch outside to Tomei. She touches it to the inside, goes for the curler, and it's off the left-hand post. Parmar had it covered all the way, but Tomei just can't beat the woodwork there, and huge let off for TSS, who try and get this one back out. Gomez tries to play the one up the line to Yi. Yi's not been as effective to start the second half as she was in the first. TSS closing her down in the opening 10 minutes of this half. The Rovers took a point from Unity midweek, the third place team in the standings, and now holding the tabletop in altitude. Tomei trying to make room, looking for some help, cuts it back to Hughes Goyette. She'll try and send a delivery, and it just takes a touch off Riesen. Well left by Van Dolder, and a good shout from Parmar, who will collect it. Kramer chips that forward to Baudry. She's done some really good running out there today for TSS, putting a very good shift. Elise Baudry, the SFU player, and cuts to the outside there, tries to get that one in. Yi, she turns to the outside. Two altitude players in her way, but Yi does well to keep hold of that. Kramer knocks it back. Baudry sends a dangerous ball in across goal there, and Friesen just can't get on to the end of that one. Van Dolder goes down to control it. Run away from her, but the experienced centre-back does well to recover. Van Dolder, one of a number of players on the pitch just now that spent time in Ireland with Treaty United. Caitlin Chu getting the better of Tomei there. Nice ball to the outside to Yi, but well read by Zoel Apps. Cassidy Anderson now wins that. Good battle for her. Just inside the TSS half. Dennehy now, she'll spray this out to Gomez on the left. High to the edge of the box for Tomei. She flicks it on neatly with the head, trying to play in Kilby, but Van Dolder again over to deal with the danger. Throwing though to altitude. They're keeping the pressure on here as they look to get back ahead in this game. Hughes Goyette's a good delivery into the box, and a big high foot just clears it out. And Baudry does well to take that off Dennehy. But Dennehy battles back superbly there. And I think she was trying to play in Tomei there, just didn't quite get the direction she was looking for, and it's easily dealt with by Parmar. TSS keen to get back on it as Kramer now chips that one forward for Yi to run onto. Very entertaining end-to-end game as the hour mark approaches here in North Vancouver. And the wind picks up a little bit again too. If you're just joining us, 2 goals in the first half. TSS's Equalizer coming with basically the last kick of stoppage time. And a screamer. You want to put the stream back and watch that one in the 43rd minute. As Van Dolder with a big tackle there, winning that from Hughes Goyette. Altitude's had a couple of injuries in this one. Avery Tullett going on off early after taking the ball fully to hit the head in a goal mouth clearance. And then at the start of the second half, Bailey Dirksen going down in a lot of pain behind the goal after a tackle. And no full update on that yet. Her parents have left, and my understanding is Bailey is going to the hospital. So we will bring you any updates on that when we can. And obviously everyone here at League 1BC sends nothing but good wishes to Bailey Dirksen for a speedy recovery. He's got 8, plays that forward, and Tomei didn't get the connection she wanted, but she's chasing it down now. Farimo doing well, trying to get forward. It's a nice block though from Gibson. Allows Altitude to win it back. Kilby now tries to thread that through for Tomei, but again, Van Dolder back doing a good defensive shift, breaking it up and allowing TSS to get on the attack the other way. Kramer skips away from the tackle and sends the long ball for Baudry to chase down. Baudry gets onto it as well as it holds up in the grass, cuts back to Yi. She's getting forced to the edge of the box, forced out of the box now, and she's running out of room rapidly there. Altitude's clearance only as far as Campbell, and Farimo now. She pokes that forward. Kramer picks up the loose ball. Still Kramer, and goes for the audacious diagonal shot to the far corner. Not testing Kelsey Fisher at all there, as we are past the hour mark, and just on the far side of the pitch, which the cameras may pick up shortly, Bailey Dirksen just getting helped out of the stadium. Heading off to the hospital, and we'll bring you any updates we can during the second game. Throwing taken a little bit too quickly for the referee's liking there. Now Gomez will do the second attempt to try and get that. It's won back though by TSS. Nice touch from Friesen. Yi plays that forward to Baudry. She looked offside, and the flag does indeed go up on the far side. Temperature picking up a little bit here as well at Kinsman. Every time the wind dies down, you really do feel the heat. As that ball knocked away by Van Dolder, only as far as Hughes Goyette. She chips that in. It's neither a cross nor a shot in the end. The official temperature, according to my AccuWeather app that I've just checked, it's 20 degrees, feels like 25. Tell you, under this tent just now, it certainly feels a little bit more than that. Could do with the wind picking up once again. And down at pitch level, it's going to be very uncomfortable. And with the men's game coming up, 3:30-ish, that might have a bit of a later start after the later start to the women's game here. And the number of delays that we've had for the injuries as well. Verimo. Oh, that was a great idea there to try and play in Yi, but it was well cut out by Apps. Rovers win the ball back, and Yi just will not fall for her as she leads the line for TSS, and Altitude will come out with this one. Gomez pokes that one forward. And the Rovers goal scorer, Sophie Campbell, doing well with that, but pass there to Kramer, cut out from Dennehy, and Dennehy back. Win the ball again, turns away nicely from Campbell. Taya Dennehy hitting the byline, and a good recovery tackle from Campbell knocks it off Dennehy, and it's going to be behind for a TSS goal kick. Friesen has a good ball. It's going to allow Kramer to get forward outside to Baudry. Baudry sends a good cross in, an acrobatic stop there from Kelsey Fisher. Flying through the air to pick that one out, with Friesen waiting for any spillage that did not come from the Altitude keeper. Gibson now gets the ball on the wing in the shade. Sends a good delivery. It's over the head of Parmer, and it's eluded everyone as it just drops and goes out for a goal kick in the end. Tomei was just waiting for that to kind of drop. She feels there should be a corner, and it is getting given now as a corner. Initial decision on the field seemed to be for the goal kick, but Tomei was adamant from the start that that went out for a corner, and is going to bring up an Altitude corner as the midway point of the second half approaches here, and it's Tomei that's going to take this one. Good delivery high into the top of the box, and Apps's shot comes in, takes a deflection on the way through, and it's going to bring up another corner here for the home side. Tomei again. Another good delivery to the top of the box, and again it comes to Apps this time. Rovers get a big boot on it to get it clear, only as far though as Gomez. Hughes Goyette now chips that one in. Hughes Goyette and Yi were both having so much effectiveness in the first half on the wings, and they've kind of fallen out of the game a little bit in the second half. And maybe put that down to some good TSS marking, but Altitude need to try and get both of them making those powerful runs forward. And it's Hughes Goyette on the ball just now. Evades the tackle by Friesen. Can't get past Caitlin Chu though. Chu again closed down by Hughes Goyette. It's going to be out for a throw-in. Quickly taken by the Rovers, Baudry. She feels she's been everywhere for TSS this afternoon, Elise Baudry. 21-year-old from Quebec, who we've seen more as a defender in her time with SFU, and has played more midfield and even in attack for TSS in League One this year. Baudry again in the thick of the action. And Sue dispossessed by Dennehy. She's got a couple of options. Plays it forward for Kilby. Flag stays down. Kilby goes to try and tuck it away at the far post, but Palmer more than a match for it, and a big stop from the 5'10" keeper. Unity and Vancouver Rise will be watching this game, hoping that TSS can get the upset and take all 3 points, and not just keep Altitude to the one. That doesn't fully open up the title race, but it does give Altitude a bit more work before they can wrap the title up. They do look Queens to the throne right now, but they have to get that over the line. They are going to be losing some players as well as they head into July. Some of their NCAA players going back to their colleges down south. MAE, one of those players who I think they have to the second week of July. Claire Logan will be another one in that category. Cassidy Anderson on the ball just now is a Guelph Griffin, so they should have her and of course the UBC players for the rest of the campaign, as they also maybe look to get to the interprovincials as well. And Sienna Gibson could be a key player for them in this late push to the season. She's been away with Canada. She's had a call up to Vancouver Rise as well and done very well with them, and they would like to see some more of her. You have to feel it's maybe just a matter of when, as opposed to if, Sienna Gibson does sign an NSL contract. Kramer up the wing to Baudry. Those two have linked up so well this afternoon for TSS. Dennehy putting the hustle on there, but well shielded by the Rovers, and they're going to get a throw in. But midway in the Altitude half here, still tied up at 1 apiece in the 72nd minute at Kinsman Field. Hope you are enjoying the action wherever you are taking it in from this afternoon. Remember, if you want to get in touch during the game, you can do so on X at AFTN Canada. If you want to chat about the game, League 1BC season, I'll give a shout out to any of the players. Please do get in touch. We like to make these broadcasts as interactive as we can. And remember, you can keep up to date with all the League One scores, standings and more by downloading the League One Canada app, free from the Apple and Android stores. You'll get all the updates from League 1BC, League 1 Alberta and League 1 Ontario. And you can see what substitutions are getting made, as there's a double one coming up here for TSS. Megan Sue is making way. And coming on is number 21, Nina Louis. And Claire Yee is making way. And coming on is number 6, Maya Smith. Maya Smith, who has been playing her college football here in North Vancouver with Capilano Blues, winning a bronze medal at the 2024 CCAA Nationals in Squamish, which I had the pleasure of commentating on. And it was a fantastic performance by all of Capilano Blues, and Maya Smith certainly a standout player on that Blues side as well. She did get TSS's first goal of the season, and what can she maybe bring here is TSS pushing hard here. It's a very even game. Both teams do look dangerous in the attack. And you'd be a brave person to discern and put any money on where you think this one is going to go. For Altitude, it does feel they need to get Emma Yee and Aurora Hughes going to get more involved on the wings, as Yee just gives the ball away there, and it's Van Dolder that will play this one back out. And here goes Baudry again for TSS. Hits the byline and just gets way too much on the cross there, and that just carries through the box and allows Tomei to just send a big boot up the field, looking to try and play in Kilby, who had a lively start to the second half, but they've struggled to get her involved, and she's such a prolific goal scorer. They need to try and get the ball more to Kilby as that's chipped in, looking for Maya Smith. Nice idea there from the Rovers, but Kelsey Fisher, more than a match, quickly off her line to deal with that one. So we're about to get set to move in to the final 15 minutes here at Kinsman Field. To me, it's a good ball forward, just runs away from Kilby, who was looking for the free kick there, and it didn't come. Felt there was a little shove in the back, just a bit of miscontrol to start with, just got that one away. TSS just want to get quickly back into the action. Chu not finding any room to play that one forward, so she'll play it inside two for Remo. Kramer does well to turn away. She'll be very motivated out there, Sophia Kramer, playing against her UBC teammates, playing against her UBC coach. She wants to impress, she wants to show Jessie Simons that she should be a key starter for the Thunderbirds this coming college season. And as I mentioned, Kramer and Baudry have really linked up very well out there. And most of the TSS attacks seem to have had those two involved in some capacity. As TSS, Altitude are set to make another substitution here, but just now they're trying to find a way to break down this TSS Rovers defence. It's had a very good showing after giving up that goal just 15 minutes in. Smith, touch outside to Friesen. There was a bad return ball from the experienced Friesen. And both teams are about to make substitutions at the next stoppage of play. And Kramer battling away there with Gibson, and now we will get the substitutions. And it's Aurora Hughes-Goyette that is making way for Altitude, and coming on is number 35, Sophia Abiera. 19-year-old winger and fullback who had her rookie season with UBC last year. Didn't see time on the pitch, so she'll be looking to try and earn some attention from Jessie Simons. And for TSS, coming on is number 10, Caitlin Cerny. And it's Elise Baudry making way, the number 14. She's had a very good showing out there. I've got to say, as of now, she's right up there for my TSS player of the game, Elise Baudry. Sophia Kramer, another one, along with Erin van Dolder in the back line from a TSS point of view. If you'd asked me at half time from an Altitude point of view, I'd definitely have said Emma Yee, but she's had a quiet second half out there. Kelsey Fisher's come up with a couple of big stops. Cerny. Ball going backwards for TSS, but they get the clearance out the field. It's chested down well by Friesen. She spins nicely. Frees Maya Smith. We know that she's got pace, but that's very well dealt with by Zoelle Apps. Smith, a tough tackler, a battler, has pace and will be a handful in these closing minutes. But what is going to be a tiring Altitude defence out there? The hot conditions will certainly have played a part, and they've probably had to defend more than they've had to do in many of the games that they've played this season. Only game they've dropped points in was that recent 1-0 loss to Unity, but they more than made amends for that a couple of days later, coming away with a big 3-1 win. For now, though, as we can move into the last 11 minutes, they're going to have to defend a TSS corner that's going to come in from the far side, and it's Cerny and Kramer both standing over this one. Kramer walking away, and it's going to be Caitlin Cerny that will whip this one into the box. It's a good high delivery, but it only meets the head of Tia Dennehy. TSS have another shot, and it comes to Maya Smith. One of the smallest players on the pitch at 5'2", gets her head to that one, but can't really get the power on it, and it's easily dealt with by Fisher, who quickly gets on with it for Altitude. Tomei now chips that one for it's just behind Kilby though. TSS enjoying a good spell of pressure here. And Friesen, nice little cut inside, and that's a good ball to the outside to Smith. Flag stays down. Smith forced out of the box though, and forced backwards with the pass as well. Closed down very well there by Abiera. Louis sends that forward, looking for Kramer. It's well read and cut out though by Apps. And battling away. Sienna Gibson just can't come away with the ball. TSS do in the end. Now Cerny, she's got a little bit of space here. Plays it out to Smith. She's full of running, not long on the pitch. Wins a throw-in for her side as well, as we're into the last 9 minutes at Kinsman. Still tied up at 1 apiece. Reminder, these two teams meet in 6 days' time. The rematch at Swangard Stadium next Saturday. Get out for that one. It should be an absolute cracker. If you can't get along to Burnaby for that, we will have that game as our next League 1 BC featured game of the week. These teams always come up with something special, and as I mentioned, Altitude have never beaten TSS in 6 previous attempts. It's 5 wins for the Rovers, 1 draw. Are we going to get a second draw between these two teams this afternoon, or do one of these teams have something special in them to grab the winner? They've got 8 minutes and what will be a fair bit of stoppage time to come. And Altitude have to defend another corner here. Cerny, another good high delivery onto the head of Van Dolder, and she gets to it, rises well, but can't direct that on target, and that's going to be high and over Kelsey Fisher's bar. Van Dolder has 2 goals on the season already, and she is dangerous at those set-piece opportunities. Altitude are back in action midweek when they travel to Coquitlam to take on Evolution. Three games in 7 days will really test Jessie Simon's squad depth as well, and with a couple of injuries, although we obviously hope Avery Tullix isn't too bad, as that's a left ball there by Farimo and pounced upon immediately by Sienna Gibson. Touches it to the outside to Yee. Yee gets past, hits the byline, cuts it back, but only finds a red shirt of Farimo, who gets a big boot on that and plays that one up the field. It's kept in by Gomez, who's immediately closed down by Smith. And we're going to get another substitution now, and Olivia Gomez makes way, the number 19, and coming on for Altitude is the number 3, who I didn't have on my team list, so let me check who that is. Chloe Van Schalkwyk has come on. Ah, yes, that's why. Because I usually have her down as number 12, so wearing the number 3 jersey today. That's a like-for-like switch from Van Schalkwijk, who is committed to UBC for this coming college campaign. Tomei cuts it back nicely to the edge of the box, spinning around, and this shot comes in. It's a high dipper, but just not on target there. And that was almost a fantastic introduction there from Chloe Van Schalkwijk, the 18-year-old two-time BC provincial champ with Fusion at youth level, making the move to the college game for this coming season. And what an impact that would have been. Just didn't fully get the connection on that, but she's in the thick of the action again. Touch outside now to Yi. She goes inside trying to make room for the shot. Big block from the Rovers. Nice bit of pressure here though from altitude as Abiera knocks it out to Tomei. Tomei whips a good delivery into the near post. It's headed clear though by Van Dolder, and the Rovers get it out. And not only do they get it out, they're going to spark something here with Smith. Kramer over on the left-hand side plays that forward for Smith to chase down, but Apps getting the better of Smith, and great defensive play there from Apps, but her clearance comes just to Friesen. Good quick ball movement, but Smith hadn't got herself back on side there. And the flag up very quickly on the far side, and that will give a little bit of respite to this UBC defence as we get set to move into the final four. Lovely chip ball forward there from Abiera. And Kilby now plays in Tomei. She's got options in the middle, cuts it back, but well read again by Van Dolder. Altitude, win it back. Kilby immediately closed down there by Chu, who's another player that's had a very good outing in the back for TSS this afternoon. So many good performances on both sides. It's hard to really pick the standouts. Abiera looking for some movement, eventually getting it back. Now Chu gets it for TSS, and well read by Dennehy. Gibson now. Still Sienna Gibson, gets past two, hits the byline, sends a good ball in. Maybe took a little touch on it on the way through, and it's just carries through for Tomei to have to come out here. She plays that one back, and Abiera has to chase back a little bit to collect it. And decides to just go to win the throw-in with a little touch off Friesen. Abiera with a long throw, and it comes to Kilby. She turns away from Van Dolder, but Van Dolder's outstretched leg knocks it away. Altitude though, keeping it alive. Gibson knocks that in, and over dealing with it is Ferrimo, who just sends that one into the trees. Two minutes and a whack of stoppage time to come. You feel either side could win this at this point. It's been a highly entertaining game. Kramer picks up the loose ball again. Smith in an offside position, and flag goes up as she tries to chase this one down. Reminder, the men's game between these two sides coming up around the 3:30ish mark. It'll probably have a little bit of a later start. Might be looking at about 3:40 for that one to get underway. As we move into the last minute, the men's game that's coming up is got huge title implications in it. A win for TSS doesn't totally eliminate Altitude as their competition, but might put it into a 2-horse race between themselves and Langley. A win for Altitude very much makes it a 3-horse race at the top. Burnaby also still have a shout of maybe making it a 4-horse race. Just now it's really between Altitude, Unity and Vancouver Rise at the top of the women's division. It's in Altitude's own hands, and it would have to take a crazy set of results, you feel, for Altitude to throw the title away now. But if TSS can get a late winner here, that would certainly put the cat amongst the pigeons in the championship race, as Cerny wins that. Kramer now gets the ball back as fourth official indicates a minimum of 4 minutes to get added on here. TSS moving the ball around nicely, but that final ball from Kramer not anticipated by Friesen. And Altitude will get it away, but Van Dolder superbly back, and she thought she'd won that, but not to be for the TSS captain. And Altitude will quickly get onto it. They want all 3 points, they just don't want one. And TSS would love to hand the first home defeat of the season to Altitude. And Claire Logan, fancy footwork there as she was getting closed down by 2 Rovers attackers. And Altitude now coming away with it. Yee forward to Kilby, and she'll play this out to Tomei. She's got room, cuts inside to try and get it onto her favoured foot, but she was closed down there by Chu before she could get the shot off. Tomei needed to really go to the outside there, but more comfortable trying to go on to her left. Altitude keeping the pressure on from the throw and comes back to Tomei. Bobbling ball sent back to Abiera. She chips that in, it's headed clear by Campbell. Maya Smith is battling away, trying to get onto that. Gibson. Back to Logan. And again, cool and calm at the back from Claire Logan, who has been excellent as well for Altitude, as that one comes through, looking to try and play in Kilby, and she is battling away out there. Abiera now chips a lovely ball into the back post. That could have gone anywhere, but falls nicely for Chu, and she'll just get a big clearance on that, as we have played the first 2 of the minimum of 4 that's been allocated by the officials. Altitude closing this one out strongly. Can they find the winner at the death, or can TSS get one last attack going? Louis chips that forward for Smith. Brought down well by Logan, but Smith battling away to win that back. Louis now looking to try and play in Cerny, where she was in an offside position. So if I'm giving my unofficial players of the game, I've given a few hat tips. I think Taya Dennehy has been excellent in the middle of the park for Altitude, but I'm going to probably give it, I think, to Claire Logan at the back. She was very solid in the first half, a couple of key plays. And I think I'm going to also give it to defender for TSS, and it's the lady on the ball just now, Erin Van Dolder, who the Rovers captain led by example at the back and has been very solid back there. As Smith in a battle with Apps, and Apps doing well to win that, but Friesen picks up the loose ball. Oh, and just a giveaway there, an unfortunate pass back there from Cerny allows Tomei to maybe get one last chance for Altitude here. Kilby gets that one taken off her foot so well by Nina Louis. We're into the last 15 seconds or so of stoppage time, unless the referee finds any more time at the end of the 4. Van Dolder chips that forward. Abiera cuts that one out. And that is going to bring the end to this one. It's been a pulsating and entertaining end-to-end affair between these two teams. Game 1 of 4 in the Ironworkers Derby is in the books, and it finishes Altitude 1, TSS Rovers 1. Both the goals in this one coming in the first half. Sheila Rasool getting her 4th of the season, finishing from close range from a great work from Emma Yee, and then 3 minutes in first half stoppage time, a 30-ish yard rocket into the top left corner from Sophie Campbell sent the teams in level at the break. Neither team could find the breakthrough in the second half, and it finishes here at Kinsman, Altitude 1, TSS Rovers 1, and we will be back with the men's game coming up around 3:30ish, and there's a lot at stake in that one at the top of the men's division. If you join me for that, I'll talk to you soon. If not, have a good rest of your weekend, enjoy Canada Day, and we'll catch you at the pitch again soon.